I think that discovery is a process of perhaps letting go of what isn't your authentic self. Um, because most of what we have become in this life is a product of what we've acquired based on where we were born and the culture of which we're a part and the things that our parents taught us. And there are things that are relative. There are things that are not absolute, that are not necessarily ideal qualities. And I think when you have this experience that meditation gives you, and it begins to manifest more fully in your attention, you begin to do two things. One, the things that take you away from it, you begin to see more clearly. You know, before taking up Sahaja meditation, I think that I would have emotions and they just came and went without me even noticing them. In other words, I'm a slave to my emotions. I'm reacting without even being aware of it. I'm getting angry without even being aware of it. It's an autonomic response almost. And I think as I've progressed in the experience of this self-realization, I've begun. There was a period where I began to always see when I had those reactions. So I could never escape the manifestation of my weaknesses. I would always see them. It didn't always prevent me from being able to express them, but they weren't just happening without me having any awareness that they were. And I think as time has gone on, they just get left behind through disuse. I think you elevate yourself to the point where those kinds of emotions, which are usually an expression of either the right side, too much overactivity, or the emotional side, either of those two extremes are really not the center. They're not a point of balance. So because you're anchoring yourself more on the central channel that this inner energy uses, which is a perfect balance between left and right, because you are anchoring yourself, I think, away from the past or the future and living in the present moment more and more because you're anchored there in your awareness. You express manifestations of the left and right side much less. And so because they're not active as much, you're not expressing the things that come from the left and right. So I think it's a very natural process that that I've been able to witness and understand is going on. It's like, witnessing your own evolution. In your life up to the point where you begin to meditate and have this inner experience, you really are just living life and you're changing, and you may or may not be aware that you are, but after this experience you become hyper aware. It's like putting a magnifying glass on yourself and seeing all the bumps and pimples that you don't really want to see, but you can't help but see. But seeing is half the battle. If you can't see it, you can't get rid of it. So I think, and on the other side, the ideal qualities, one side is the things you want to leave behind. The other side is what you want to manifest. And I think when you put your attention on something after you've had this awakening, you're using this energy and your intention to realize goals, to realize a version of yourself that you want to achieve. And you use this power, and it is a power to move positively and purposefully in that direction. And you can see more clearly how to get there without doubts, without diversions in the road.